Folks, I am Saurabh and today we'll make samosas. Yes, we are going to make samosas today. I think this is the most famous Indian vegetarian appetizer throughout the world. I personally love samosas a lot. Samosas are essentially the enriched dough filled with masala potatoes, baked, fried or air fried. You choose your method. I am frying it in the traditional form, but tastes really good. Super crunchy with this potato, very good. And it goes well with the green chutney, which is mint and cilantro, the red chutney, which is tamarind or ketchup. I personally love it with ketchup. So why wait? Let's check out the recipe for this Indian classic appetizer, starting with the ingredients. So for samosa in ingredients, we have 1/3 cup of all-purpose flour or maida, 1/4 cup of ghee, salt to taste. We'll use 1 teaspoon of salt at least for the dough, 1 teaspoon of grated ginger, 1 teaspoon of Amchur powder. This is dried mango powder. You can use chaat masala instead. Half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of Nigella seeds or Kalonji, 1 teaspoon of Carrom seeds or Ajwain, 1 teaspoon of Jeera or Cumin seeds, 1.5 teaspoon of Fennel seeds or Sauf, 1.5 teaspoons of Coriander seeds, 3 boiled potatoes. We'll peel these off when we're cooking, half a cup of peas and 1/4 cup of coriander leaves. We'll also use some water for kneading the dough and oil for frying as well as to cook the potatoes. So let's start first by kneading the dough. So to make the dough, I've taken a large bowl. I'm adding all the flour and the Carrom seeds and the Nigella seeds or Kalonji. Then adding about 1 teaspoon of salt and mixing this well. Yes, we'll use our hands a bit to knead the dough. And now I'll add the ghee. So since it is cold, the ghee is a bit thick, but as you knead the dough, the ghee will start to melt with the warmth of your hand and will combine well with the flour. So now I'll knead the dough. So here what I'm trying to do is making sure that all the flour, here what I'm trying to do is combining the ghee with the flour so that the flour is enriched with the ghee. So now the ghee is combined well with the flour. So the way to test whether it has worked well is to squeeze the dough and it should form a ball like this. That means it is well combined. Now I'll slowly start adding some lukewarm water. So just for measurement, I've taken about half a cup of water, but I don't think I'll use as much water. This dough is very tough, so make sure that your dough is tough. If you don't have a tough dough, then while frying you'll have bubbles on your samosa and it won't be plain. So add water cautiously. So adding a little bit at a time, and I've started with half a cup of water. As you see, the dough has started to come together, but it's still a bit rough. I'll just add a bit more water. I think this is very close to being done. So I'll break the dough, add a little bit of water and keep kneading. So this should be the dough consistency. It is not fully smooth, but it is binding together. And in water I have used about 70% of half a cup of water. So now I'll apply some oil on the dough, on both sides of the dough. Now I'll rest the dough for about 30 minutes to 45 minutes covered. Now as the dough is resting, I'll start making the filling with the potatoes. First, I'll peel off all the skin of the potatoes and make small cubes of the boiled potatoes. And for the spices, I'll dry roast all of these spices and make a coarse ground mix of these spices. It shouldn't be fine, it should be coarse. So I've added the spices, the coriander seeds, fennel seeds and cumin seeds in a pan to dry roast. And I'll dry roast these till the coriander seeds become a bit brownish in color. So the coriander seeds are nice and brown and the spices are fragrant. So I'll take this to a mortar and pestle and then coarsely grind it. So after coarsely grinding, this is how your spice mix should look like. This should be absolute coarse. Now I've heated the pan. Now adding some oil for cooking. So now the oil is hot enough. I'm adding the ginger. Sure, the ginger is cooked. And then I've cubed the potatoes like this, as you can see. So now I'm adding all the potatoes. Now adding red chili powder, turmeric powder, Amchur powder or dry mango powder, and some salt to taste. And mixing this well, I'll try to keep the potatoes on a bit chunkier size so that you can have a bite of the potatoes when you are digging into the samosas. Now I'm also adding in the peas and the masala that we had roasted. Now mashing it a bit, but still trying to keep it chunky. Now I'll cover this and cook this at low heat for about 2 to 3 minutes till the potato has a brown crust on the bottom. So it has been about 3 minutes and you see the potato has started to brown. This is what we want. Now we'll add the cilantro or coriander leaves that were chopped and mix it. The browning is important. It gives an amazing flavor. You can opt out of it as well if you don't want to brown the potatoes, but for me that gives a amazing flavor. All right, so our potato mix is done. So this will be our filling. Now we'll switch off the heat and let it cool down. So now as our filling is ready, now let's make the dough. So dough has been resting for about 45 minutes now, and see, it is so smooth. If you make an indent, it stays. It's smoother than what we did before. So we'll make dough balls now. Perfect. So this is 1, this is 2. So we have 3 dough balls. Each dough ball will make 2 samosas. So we'll have 6 samosas in total. Now making a nice ball out of it. Now start rolling the dough balls. Now make it an oval shape. I'll start rolling it. And the dough is now more workable. So making an oval shape. Perfect. And now cutting the dough in half from the center. So this should be the thickness of the layers. Now keep it aside and I'll cover it and continue working on the remaining dough. Now as you can see, these are the tiny speckles. These are Nigella seeds or Kalonji, and these are Carrom seeds or Ajwain. All our dough sheets are ready. I'll start assembling the filling with the dough. Now showing the technique to fold the samosa. So first we'll make a fold from the center like this. Now apply water on one edge of the sim. Now overlap the other edge on top of this. Seal the fold. Now make a cone like this and fill the cone with the filling. You see the nice brown spots in the potato. That will give an amazing taste. Make sure to compress the filling as you go. It's like a dumpling. Perfect. Now supply water on the edges. Good amount of water will help it stick. Now right in front of this pleat, we'll make a pleat right here. So folding and making a pleat here and pulling it towards the center and then closing the edges. Making sure all the edges are closed well, else the samosa will burst while cooking. There you go. So the samosas are ready. As you see, these are well seated samosas. I'll keep them in the fridge for about 15 minutes. Double check that all the seams or all the edges are properly closed. And while these are sitting in the fridge, I'll heat up the oil for frying. So the oil is hot enough. To know if the oil is hot enough, just take a small dough ball and put it in, and it should come up. That's how you know the oil is hot. And now I'll add all the samosas one by one. Perfect. So the heat is at medium low, and I'll let the samosas cook till they rise up. I'll tilt this samosa a bit. Perfect. The samosas should be completely submerged in the oil, and once they rise up, then we'll start rotating the samosas. Again, the heat is medium low. Make sure the heat is lower, else the samosas will not cook evenly. See, now the samosas have started to float. Now I'll just turn the samosas on their sides for even cooking. So it has been about a couple of minutes, and you see, keep rotating the samosas for even cooking. This got a bit burnt because it stuck to the bottom. So these are an absolute fantastic color. Now these are done. I'll switch off the heat and I'll take these out one by one. I've added them in a bowl with some tissue paper. I'll let them cool down a bit before serving. So let's see how the samosas have turned out. The samosa should be very crisp. Just a hard shell that you can hear, and it's crisp like this. So this was the recipe for samosas. This is a definite crowd pleaser. If you haven't had samosas in your life, try this recipe and let me know how it turned out for you in the comment section. This will be life-changing for you. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.